So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Wizard of Gore, 2007. Netflix is calling it Wizard of Gore, and IMDb and Wikipedia are calling it The Wizard of Gore. And it says Dimension Extreme. Really? It wasn't that extreme to me. It's got full frontal, and the Montag scenes are pretty gruesome. The rest of the movie was boring as heck. And this is coming from the director of the Attic Expeditions, which is a great flick. I don't know why he defaulted such a mediocre director after the Attic Expeditions, but he said he did a lot of LSD when he was in high school or something. Anyways, maybe that's the reason it's finally started to kick in, because it's not really a horror flick. It's more like a noir kind of deal where the newspaper feller, amateur journalist, independent newspaper dude. He's constantly doing smack or some kind of messed up stuff. And it's supposed to be artsy and surreal, but it's more like watching Battlefield Earth. All the camera tricks that are supposed to be amazing, but they're lame. And yeah, it's about what I expected. The Suicide Girls are the reason to watch, pretty much. The gore scenes are a mix of CGI and practical. They're pretty decent. I have no idea what Crispin Glover is uttering through his mouth. It sounds like he's breathing hard and he's talking really slow. and people say that he's a great actor, but I couldn't see it in this movie. I'm sorry. Why is he wearing a codpiece? And how did he come up with that idea? I actually like the original Montag from 1970, and he wasn't even the first choice of Herschel Gordon Lewis. He didn't even like being in the movie, but I guess Herschel Gordon Lewis didn't have any choice. He couldn't get his first pick. But of course, the original Wizard of Gore is a great flick. Highly recommended. Check that one out. I'm not going to say the same for the remake, unfortunately. I had my hopes up high, and Adrian warned me. He said, "Don't waste your time," because it is an hour and 37 minutes, but it felt like 3 hours with all the surreal scenes toward the end where the guy's just kind of dozing off and wandering around. That part really made it hard to watch, I think, the last half of the movie. And then the ending didn't make any sense. So, whatever. Jeffrey Combs is in it from the Attic Expeditions and Reanimator series. He was good in a Fortress. Remember that one? 1985. No. Am I getting the name wrong? And this is unreasonable. He looks like a homeless bum. He plays the geek sidekick to Montag, which wasn't in the original. But he was in Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator. What else? Fortress, 1992. He played D-Day. Why did I say 1985? He was in Necronomicon, Book of the Dead. What else? Bunch of Reanimator stuff. He was in the first Reanimator, of course. Bride of the Reanimator. Played Dr. Herbert West. He was in Beyond Reanimator, which I have not seen. So, yeah, it's about this indie journalist, amateur guy. He goes to this freak show carnival. All these post-punk Los Angeles. Goes to check out Montag, who's doing all these gory magic scenes, gruesome on the stage. Jeffrey Combs is eating maggots and biting the head off a rat. He keeps doing that over and over again. And Crispin Glovin is prancing around in his white suit with the codpiece. Talking really slow and breathing hard, like he's trying to be intense, but he's just mumbling nonsense. This is what Crispin Glover, has come to after being a big star in Back to the Future. He's acting in this piece of crud in 2007. Crispin Glover is a strange dude. I think he's got his own artwork fanzine thing that he does, and man, this was disappointing, and I should have known better. Because Adrian warned me. He said, don't bother. He mentioned it, and then he said, don't bother. This was 3 years ago. And I don't think he recommended Foxy Brown either. I think that just popped up out of nowhere, out of my safe queue, sort of like Thunderfoot and Lightbolt. I think that's the name of the movie I just watched. I'm having a hard time remembering movies. I'm watching the Bela Lugosi movie. What is it? Another Adrian. I almost finished it before I got Wizard of Gore, but I fell asleep. When Wizard of Gore, The Human Monster, aka The Dark Eyes of London. I'm almost done with that, so I'm going to finish that up before I go back to bed. Got about 12 hours of sleep. No, 10 hours last night. And my son actually got less sleep than I did. I got up before he did, but he went to bed way after I did. I just kept napping from 7 o'clock on, and then I woke up at about 7. So I guess it was 12 hours roughly last night. Some catch-up time sleeping. Anyways, this guy, this journalist guy, he keeps going back to the show with his girlfriend, and he keeps hitting up Brad Dourif for is it Brad Dourif? Yeah, Brad Dourif. He looks pretty sleazy in this one too, just like Jeffrey Combs. Crispin Glover's got the hair helmet going. I don't know what the deal is with that, and there's all this net cracking and leeches and stuff. A lot of stuff that didn't make any sense to me, but maybe you can explain it to me. Like I said, I was trying to be artsy, but it didn't make any sense, and nobody has been able to explain the story. After they watch like the third gal get gored up on the stage, and then magically come back to life after Jeffrey Combs turns off the switch. They end up, their bodies end up being discovered a couple days later, just like in the first movie. But that's where the similarity ends, because after the first few montage shows that they go to, he keeps coming back like he's addicted to it or something. And after the first few shows, he's just wandering around trying to get this hardcore drug that messes with your bones and erases your memory or something. It's the same drug that Montag uses on his female victims on the stage, and I don't know. I prefer Herschel Gordon Lewis. It's too bad he's not around anymore, and it's too bad that he decided to go into marketing, like direct mail. I would have enjoyed seeing more of his stuff in the 70s and 80s. If he hadn't decided to do a career switch. So it's unfortunate that they tried to expand on his legacy by making a mediocre remake. It makes his low-budget stuff look good in comparison, really. But anyways, I just thought I'd get that out there, get off my chest. Not a great flick. Not even a good flick. Sort of in the middle, I guess. With the two things that I mentioned, the Montag act really was the highlight, even though Crispin Glover was just like mumbling nonsense the whole time. If they just left those scenes in for the whole movie instead of the noir subplot, I think it would have been a better movie overall, honestly. But that's just me. I kind of agree with Adrian that that I should have missed it in hindsight, but anyways, I always try to get to the Adrian mentions, whether they be good or bad. So that's about it. The Bela Lugosi movie so far is kind of slow paced and got an H rating when it came out in Great Britain. but we'll see how it goes. Still got about 20 minutes left on that one, so I'll finish that one up later.